knight, the knights can't go anywhere. They can't do anything valuable. Look where black's queen is. His position is cramped. Now remember this. This piece is undeveloped. This piece and this piece should be working together like these guys are. And watch how they work together very, very soon, controlling this open file. If you never get this rook communicating with this rook, then this rook is never as strong as it could possibly be. But when you have two rooks that work together, they become very, very strong. Next move is rook to f8. You can't really afford to give up the open file, but you can't. He's not in a position to fight for it either, because he can't move his knight anywhere. So it's a bad situation for black. Next move is rook to e7 on the penultimate rank, 7th rank. That means that this rook is penultimate, means the thing that happens before the end. That's what that means. That this is about to be over. Next move for black is f6 to try to create something open. The bishop here can't capture that because the queen will capture. So he's trying to create some type of activity. And then in this instance, white does h4. Notice how white is played very, very cautiously, very, very carefully. He probably could have done something else to try to force or speed up the mate, but instead he's being very, very protective and cautious, and that's wise, so that black can't possibly hurt him. So he does h4, and then black does f5. White now does rook at d to e1, connecting the rooks. Now this is, if these guys were connected, that will be a defensive position. When they are vertical, then they're in an offensive position. And this is a very strong position because the file, as I mentioned earlier, the file serves as a pathway to get to his king. So whoever controls the pathway, it's like a bridge. Whoever controls the bridge then will be able to travel through it and over it, or will be able to use the file. Black can no longer contend for the file, at least not now. So the next move for black is knight to f7. And now white does queen to e2. By doing queen to e2, black has secured what's called a battleship position, one of the strongest positions that you can have in chess. And in this instance, black's pieces can absolutely do nothing. So black resigned in this position. If you were to say, well, why did he resign? Well, what is it that black could possibly do? Bishop can't capture here. The bishop can't move here. The bishop can't move there. He can't move there. He can't move there. The knight can't. He could move here, but if he goes here, he has no other place to go. His queen is totally trapped in. The rook has been undeveloped and has no place to go. So notice how white's pawns are expanded into black's camp, and how white controls the center. Therefore, since white controls the center the way that white does, white controls the 16 squares, which we're really in the middle game right now, and the game has expanded from these 4 squares into the 16, and then it's starting to expand from these 16 into the end game. So in about 3 or 4 moves we'd be in the end game, and at this point black resigned. So look how, just because his position was so bad. Now one move caused this to happen, and that was when you moved rook to e5 prematurely. By moving there, he was hoping to get the rook over here, but you can't hope in chess. That's called hope chess. So you don't want to play hope chess. You want to play precision, protective, safe chess. So the purpose of this lesson was to demonstrate to you the idea of space in a chess game, and you can see how white controls all the space. So therefore, white controls all of the good squares, and white has privy to squares that black does not have. White has control on squares that black cannot use. White has control of diagonals that black cannot use. White has control of files that black cannot use. So by having space and controlling space in squares, you're able to prohibit your opponent's pieces from moving where they want to move or where they need to move, have success in the chess game. So once again, this was a King's Indian defense, and a very strong player played it with white. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Once again, my name is Bernard Baker, and you have a good day.